Revelation is a ritual, an interview series where vulnerability, embodiment, and intuition guide the conversation. Each episode invites guests to share their lived wisdom and creative expression, reminding us that revelation is not a destination, but an unfolding ritual. Through this process, guests explore newfound insights alchemized into embodied wisdom, cultivating deeper connection within themselves and more authentic relationships with others. We have Amber here today. She is a fitness and wellness coach and an herbalist. I am so excited to have her on this series because the unfolding that I've seen her basically blossom in the past 3 to 4 years. I have seen you go through like some shadowy depths into like it wasn't even like shadowy depths from the outside. It was like you were just like healing and like you were in the mud, you were cultivating that lotus, and now like each blossom has been blossoming on its own divine timing. And I've been so excited just being on the other side of the phone and seeing you do what you've been wanting to do from the beginning and how it's taken the journey that it has to step into your power that you are in now. And it's only the beginning. It's like it's barely even started.
Yeah.
It's in its infancy. So I'm so excited for you to share a little bit of your backstory, what took you to the entrepreneur you are now, and how you were able to cultivate and curate everything based off of your own experiences, off of what your soul's purpose was gravitating you to, listening to all of the whispers, and what has allowed you to be guided on this aligned path to where you are now. So we are so excited to dive even deeper.
Thank you for having me. Yes, appreciate you inviting me into this space and to open up a little bit about my journey. I felt like ever since I was young, I always knew I was going to be a boss of some sort. I always seen that. I was always called a little boss when I was younger. I was in the military in my early 20s. I was in the Army for 7, 8 years. And when I got out of there, I didn't have an identity attached to me anymore. I felt very lost. I ended up getting into a really deep depression, and I wasn't able to just push myself to get through it. I've seen my mother and just the women in my life be very strong and just push through things, and that's what I was taught. But I hit a wall so hard that just pushing through things wasn't enough. So I had to dig deeper and figure out, who I was and who I was outside of other people telling me who I was every day, and that honestly led me to spiritual practices of mindfulness, right? Cultivating mindfulness through meditation, through breath work. It led me to crystals, which eventually led me, I'm going to say, back to herbalism because I did grow up in a very natural way. When I was sick, we would use ginger and different herbs and like that. So I feel like me opening myself up again to that awareness was able to bring me back to that path, and diving into herbalism really gave me that sense of purpose and that sense of autonomy. Like I'm able to take care of myself and I am able to show up for myself, but it is a holistic practice, right? So it's like I can't just take an herb and now everything's solved. It took me to take a deeper look at the habits, the patterns that I had that contributed to it, and which eventually led me to wanting to share that with as many people as possible, and I had a helping hand getting out of this deep state of depression, or, just not being aware and keeping my head down and going through the motions. And I wanted to share that with as many people as possible. So putting myself out there, which eventually, led to me having the shop.
Yes.
And then I had to close my shop, was just a tower moment for me. And I, ended up feeling like, okay, I'm not back at square one because I do have all these tools and I've cultivated these practices of peace and stillness and finding my way. So I feel like in the past 2 years, I've been finding my way to really express who I am outside of just being seen by everyone else, or like the aesthetic, I say, of like wellness, of other people giving me a hand clap for, having the shop and the space and different thing. It was more an ego than it was me diving deeper and I don't know, expressing myself in that way. It was just more in me feeling good about other people telling me like, "Oh my God, you're so great." That's what it
Yes.
is. So the last 2 years, just spent this time really diving deep and getting to know who Amber is right now. And I realized that, hey, I have all of these different things to share and a purpose to share. And I've cultivated all these practices over the years. So that led me to start, getting into coaching and sharing that with other people.
That's so beautiful. And thank you for shining a light on that too. Like where like getting a shop or feeling like that's a goal for a lot of people's eyes. So like to have to take yourself out of that, not even like have to, it's just a reroute.
Mhm,
And that how that can then journey into the mind of like, okay, I'm grieving this process, but I'm not taking a step back. And this is just a redirection into understanding and honing in this practice even more and like really showing like holding the space for guidance for others too.
mhm,
And I want to really shine a light on that because I know within myself or in just people that are creatives that are really wanting to like expand, that going like it's like, oh, I'm going backwards,
mhm,
or oh, I'm like that was all a waste of time. Like we can go down that like more negative route of
mhm,
that mind trap, or we can go back onto that loop of like trusting the process and then understanding the whispers and just being led by that and then allowing the magic to unfold of where we were really supposed to be. And so dive a little bit deeper into how that step back actually allowed you to grow into this what you are about to be offering. Like you've been really honing in on this project of
mhm,
cultivating this curation of everything that you have to offer in like one
mhm.
little package basically. So can you share a little bit more of like what then allowed you to open up the space for to become a wellness coach and a personal trainer
Mhm.
and also weaving in herbalism to that too?
Yes, my passion for fitness did start when I was in the military, and it was something that connected me to, hey, I can do really hard things, and if I continue to work at something, I can only improve. I'll only get better. And after those 2 years, something that really kept me on track and something that I stayed consistent with was working out, was movement, and being able to use that as like, I don't know, guide to kind of guide myself back into who I am, what I do, and also branching out into community because I felt alone at the time. So branching out into community and realizing that I'm not alone, I'm not the only person going through these things. And if I feel like that, there must be other people out there who feel like that. Who than that
Yes.
wanted me, I wanted to help other people feel good in their body, sure of themselves and have the tools to move throughout their life. And then I was like, hey, why don't we get a certification to become a certified personal trainer? I had started wellness coaching about a year ago, and it was me diving deeper into myself, and I kind of was my own client at first and created like
Yeah.
a program for me. And then I started sharing this with other women, and I'm like, okay, wow, this is beneficial. And then I started to think, I'm like, everything I've been doing has led me to this point. Ha-
Mhm.
and I was thinking, hey, maybe I have to separate all these different things that I do. And I was like, no, this all can come together into my toolbox, and I can be able
Mhm.
to expand and help people, through my fitness coaching, through my wellness coaching, and through, herbalism. And that all encompasses itself to, I don't know, be the evidence of my story, if that makes
Yes,
sense.
no, that's exactly
Mhm,
it because that's how you are where you are now is
mhm,
because of your experiences and what has helped you. And now you're being like called basically
mhm.
from this like higher power, higher purpose of like you, we need you to
Yeah.
step up and share your voice more. And not everyone has that inkling or that magnetism to like be like, you know what? I'm going to get over these, like, not get over, but like heal these shadows, and I'm going to really work on these inner workings and figure out all of these things so that I can step up and be the person that I'm being called to be. And it
Mhm,
takes a lot of work that a lot of people don't know, aren't aware of, they don't see it. And so they may see you one week, and then the next 3 months later, you're having speaking positions. But that's just how it is, and it's your unfolding, and that's the beauty on it, and that's
Yes.
why you're here.
Yes.
You're here to share it more.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So thank you so much for sharing that. It's a lot of grief, a lot of like heart space, like going around, do, like it's
Yes.
so much of a loop. And to pull yourself out of it, it really takes a lot of like like what's I don't know, a lot of words are coming to my mouth right now, but none of them are coming out.
Yes, it takes
Like
a lot of letting go too.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
A lot of letting go of what you thought, your life was going to look like, And once you
Yes.
let go of that, you can embrace like what your purpose is,
Mhm.
what your true purpose is.
Yeah, and it's interesting how you say like letting go of it, because like we can have such a hard grip of expectation or control of where we think our life is supposed to be. But when we like reel out a little bit, and we're like, okay, was that really what I wanted from my soul, or was that because this person may have said it 2 years ago, or my parents, or whichever? And like we're still uncovering or releasing things that were put on us,
Hmm.
and we're like, no, like let me think more from my heart space, and what is my soul wanting and yearning, and let me move from that space instead. So from when we're coming from those spaces of like hearing and finding ourselves, it can be a little like wavy of like the discernment of like, was that really me, like from my
Mm,
soul's purpose, or was that from someone else, or that I picked up on, because like we're such sponges too.
yes.
And so that's a really redirection in all different angles. And so when we're on it, what I've really noticed is like we really don't know what is the next steps or like around the corner, but we may know like this one thing.
Hmm.
So with everything that you've cultivated, you're like, yeah, I can bring this all together.
Hmm.
When was that like light bulb moment of like, I can bring this all together because these have all been my toolboxes?
Hmm.
So what is that light bulb moment? And can you share a little bit with us of like what is your way, or like what are the ways that you may use those in your own practice
Hmm.
of going through the challenges, moving through them, alchemizing it,
Hmm.
and then turning it into like a creation or inspiration or a project? Yeah.
Yes. I would say that light bulb moment for me at the beginning of this year, I moved into my first place on my own. So living on my own for the first time. And I was getting out of a relationship where I didn't feel seen and felt like the other person was taking and taking. And I interestingly had met this person right after I closed the shop. And I was kind of in that space of, I'm just going to put my head down and go through the motions. And something clicked in me and was like, hey, I don't need to put my head down. I don't need to go through the motions. And I'm going to try something that's very scary for me, which is going out
Oh.
and living on my own and having to take care of all of that because a wound for me growing up was we were evicted a lot from our places. Like I've been homeless before and those things. So that was very scary for me. What started popping up was, oh my God, you're going to be homeless again. You're going to get evicted. But the me that has these tools and the me that knows what I'm doing, it was like, no, you got this. It's going to be scary. She steps in like, let me handle this. You can go, you can go sit down. I'm going to handle that. And honestly, every day I try to show up with a sense of awe and a sense of curiosity, and aliveness. And I feel like I'm celebrating that when I take care of my body with movement, when I connect to breath, when I connect to spirit, to something higher than me, when I dive deeper into my purpose. So, my practices that I've cultivated daily, like my morning routine of drinking my tea and working out and doing breath work and meditation, has become, I don't know, part of my day to day. It's just who I
Mhm.
am, it's what I do, and it just gives me this sense of purpose and like I don't know, like I'm a child again, and every day I'm learning something
Yeah.
new about myself and about the world.
Mhm.
Hmm.
That's so beautiful. I actually just posted something recently about that inner child work, and how the more older we get, or just going about like little robots, like the less we get away from the inner child moments
Mm-hmm.
and the awe and like the wanting to like be enticed by something, or like curiosity lead the way. And so that's so beautiful to hear that you're doing that, because I feel like the more that we, like us as a collective, the more that we do it, the more that other people are seeing that, the more that maybe where we can awaken those people too, of like, hey, we don't have to be adults, we don't have to like like be this like serious thing
Mm-hmm.
walking and like go by the book and to the T. And it's like it that like life doesn't have to be that way. Life can be like, I just saw a really fucking beautiful butterfly on the way here, and it was white, and I don't know, just magical things about like when we like
Yes.
get into that, we're like, there's just so much more beauty and there's so much more to life. And so when we're looking at more of those like inner child moments, those awe like moments, can you share a little bit of like what about it really pulls you into your spirituality? Like
Mm-hmm.
what, like how does spirituality kind of speak to you through nature, or and around you? If
Mm-hmm.
that's like it's all a part of that practice for
Yes.
you.
I feel like in nature was the first time I really had that, I don't know, sense of enlightenment or awe, that I am connected to everything and everything is connected to me. And also, there's so many lessons in, nature and in
Mm-hmm.
other people as well. So I can see a tree and I'm like, this tree is growing and it's reaching towards the sun and it's doing its thing. That's its purpose. Another reason why I love herbalism and plants so much, like they have this divine purpose and the spirit within them, and
Mm-hmm.
they help to connect us, help to raise our vibrations in that way. So I think I'm getting off track.
No, everything's about it. Tell me, keep going.
Yeah, getting that awe moment, it's like a sense of relief. Like, I don't have to carry all this pain and this
Mhm.
hurt. Like, I don't have to bounce around this hot potato all the time. Like, I can decide to let go of things. I can decide to live in peace.
Mhm.
I can decide to move forward. And
Yeah.
I have that control over my life.
Mhm.
Again, for a long time I didn't, growing up, really having to get it out on my own after I turned 18, and
Yeah.
dealing with homelessness and a lot of things. Once upon a time, honestly, like I sold drugs once upon a time just to make it by. So it feels good to be in a place where I'm like, wow, I'm okay, I'm good, and I can make that choice. And it doesn't matter like what material things I have around me. It doesn't matter, what people are telling me. I have cultivated this peace and this awareness and this connection to spirit that like nobody can take away from me.
Mhm.
Hmm.
That's so beautiful, and that's really powerful to cultivate and to have, and to really feel that within your heart space
Hmm.
of just like the safety, which is our root chakra,
Yes.
just safety, stability. And with the money and how that's been kind of like really chaotic in this world lately, that can feel like our worthy is connected to
Hmm.
it, and it's not. And once we feel that, it's like, okay, we need to come back to ourselves, come back to our spirituality, come
Hmm.
back to who we are and our value and like our love for self, because we can't see more through that or see that within people if we don't have that within ourselves.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
I want to dive deeper into more of like the nature part.
Uh-huh.
When you were sharing about like when the tree was growing and it's reaching up to the sun, I just visualized you as like getting taller and taller and taller for some reason. Like you were the tree and you're like growing and you're like allowing the sun to like beam on you.
Hmm.
So I'm curious, what are some like in this current timeline right now, what
Hmm.
are some animals or spirits, nature, anything that you feel like has been connecting to you in a consistent way, even angel numbers? What has
Hmm.
been coming into you, and what do you feel like like their messages or what they're trying to share for you?
Yes, I would say water. lately I've been feeling very connected to water, and right now I'm like trying to plan a trip. Like I need to go to the beach, I need to go to the lake, I need to do something. And
Yeah.
water always reminds me to flow and that there is always a path. You might
Mhm.
not see it at first, but you can maneuver around it. Also, my spirit animal that comes to me the most is a deer, well, a buck. A buck,
Oh.
yes, and all of its antlers. So they're very strong. They protect their loved ones.
Mhm.
Um, and I tend to, I mean, they lean more into, of course, that masculine energy, but I'm starting to embrace that. Like, hey, yeah, you know what? I do have masculine energy. Oh, well,
Yeah.
everyone does. But in the past, I've heard people tell me that there's something wrong with that.
Mhm.
It's not ladylike or you're not feminine enough because you have this hardness to you where I feel like I just, know how to get things done and
Yeah.
the path to take. hmm And lately, what has been coming to me, I feel like I get my messages and visuals, and from the
Mhm.
people around me. So, what's been
Mm.
coming to me a lot more is like um, expanding my audience and like, my reach and the people that I can, I don't know, just share some wisdom with by sharing my story
Yeah.
and sharing my experience. You out there. Yes. And the people around me giving me little signs like, oh, I had something came to me where I saw you on a stage, or it's different things like that. Or, people
Yeah.
just telling me, like, I see you,
Mhm.
and it feels beautiful because for a long time I was very afraid to be seen by people. hmm
Yeah. I have two things.
Yes.
The seen by people, but also the masculine energy.
hmm
So in relationships,
hmm
romantic or even platonic, when people say things like that to us, if we haven't already done the work on that or like
hmm
really seen it ourselves, that it could kind of take us back, like,
hmm
ooh, like that wasn't really, I wasn't expecting that to be said, and now
hmm
it stirred something within you.
Yes.
So when you heard stuff like that, like before you were like, you know what, I'm embracing this part
hmm
of me. I'm sure it probably felt like maybe had to diminish it, or like there was something wrong with you, or that like you were too masculine. So how do I like not
hmm
how do I step more into my feminine? And so now that you're like, you know what? No, this is very much a part of me. I'm going to honor this and embody this more.
hmm
And there is going to be a partner out there that is going to be that polarity of me and isn't going to think I'm too much.
Yes.
And like really honoring that. Because the more you honor it, the more that we get into the frequency of who we
hmm
are. So when you received that, can you share a little bit of like what was kind of like the mental process within you, and
hmm
then to get to the point where you are now, where you're like, you know what? No, that is part of me. And I just was not a good fit for this person.
Yes. I would say at first hearing this, of course, I felt like, oh, something's wrong with me. I'm taking a checklist and going through and like, okay, this is not feminine enough. This is not feminine enough. But it also was a mirror, like reflected back on me. What ways can I dive back into my feminine energy, but in a way where it's not so much about, I don't know, how people see feminine energy on the
Like
outside.
becoming more feminine.
Yeah. But just realizing that I don't have to force everything. I
Mhm.
can rest. I can let things come to me. I can accept help from people, taking
Mhm.
that as a lesson rather than being like, oh, something's wrong with me. How can I fix all these things?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, just diving deeper into that
Yeah.
made me
And
feel
like
good about it.
honoring it.
Yeah, and honoring it, honoring
Yeah.
that, and realizing that there is a partner out there for me who is going
Yeah.
to embrace those sides of me. And now, when it comes to everything I do and being an entrepreneur and all these different things, I really respect and appreciate that I am open to my masculine side, my feminine side, and being able to accept that duality of both.
Yeah, that
hmm
union within yourself.
Yes.
There's this one, I think it's that She-Wolf tarot
hmm
deck. There's one that is like Divine Union is the card. And for a long time, when I first got that deck, I was like, oh, it's about whoever I'm going to meet. It's divine union with me and that other person. And then shortly after, I was like, oh, fuck, no. This is all about me. Like, this is redirecting my energy back to myself.
Mhm.
This isn't about me reaching outwards to like find or search for someone. It's about how can I get more in balance in myself with my masculine and feminine energies and really honoring that. And I still am working. That was like 2-3 years ago.
Yes.
I'm still working on it. Like sitting with tea last night, it just like came in on me, another layer, another
Mhm.
deeper layer, and I just started crying, and I'm like, ah, and like that one loop was trying to call on me, like you're not going to find someone. You have to settle, like
Yes.
those thought patterns, and I was like, no, fuck you. I'm redirecting to here, like I am enough. Like
Mhm.
there is a partner that will honor and find all of the parts of me really beautiful, and like all of the affirmations and
Mhm.
mantras on this side, but you have to feel it and
Mhm.
go through it. And if you don't allow yourself to feel it and go through it, it's just almost like you're putting another band-aid of like shame or embarrassment, like I'm going
Yes.
to hide you so I don't feel you, but then it just grows and grows until you're like, you know what, you matter too, and I'm
Yes.
going to feel you and really like give you a huge ass like embrace
Yeah.
because like, it's just your inner child, those
Mhm.
fears, those things that are coming up that's like, I need to heal those things and feel
Mhm.
really confident in who you are, like me, before, not even before, but like just taking those
100%.
next steps. And so it's really beautiful. Thank you so much for
Yes.
sharing that.
So I want my partner to be an extension of the love that I have for myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
it really is. And I feel like when you have those frequencies really going well, it's just you just amplify each other. And
Yes.
that's the partnership or the romanticism that everyone sees or like it's like thinking that they're wanting, and it's like,
Mhm.
oh shit, we have all of this like work that we
Yeah,
haven't done in
the
order
work
to
on
get
the back end that you have to do, the scary, ugly work that,
Yes.
you don't see
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
And you have to realize, okay, I had a hand in my own suffering in certain ways.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
the hot potato. Like I
Yes.
can choose to let go of this hot ass
Yeah.
potato, or I can just be like, you know what,
Gonna
it's
burn
supposed to
myself.
happen. I'm supposed to feel this. And that's such a trip because when we're growing up in those loops of struggle or survival mode and just like sticking to it and like being dedicated and just like
Mhm.
working your way through all the challenges, that when we're older, like
Yes.
now, that could get us actually off our path
Mhm.
if we just keep on bulldozing. We're like, nope,
Mhm.
this was just a challenge that I had to keep going through, instead of being like, oh, this was a closed door and I have to just redirect this way. It's
Yes.
like, no, I'm gonna just go through this door because it's meant for me.
Yes, I can move forward without burning myself out, without
Yes.
exhausting myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's honoring the feminine, and
Mhm.
how that looks like within yourself is going to look different within everyone else.
Yeah.
Even with the men, their
Yes.
femininity are going to look different too,
Mhm.
and masculinity. So I wanted to share a little bit more about K-pop Demon Hunters and like
Yes.
the Golden Song,
Mhm.
because I just truly feel like with the resonation of really working on yourself, like working towards these visions that you see in your third eye or your dreams, and you're doing little steps here and here and here. And like, let's say 3 years ago,
Mhm.
and you just have this vision, you're just holding out and you're keeping faith. Now, there might be some challenges. You may be redirected along the way.
Mhm.
But as you kept on going closer and closer, now you're starting to see the little golden
Mhm.
sparkles in the Han moon. You're like, it's actually happening. And I'm going to keep on going, because you're seeing it starting to like
Mhm.
unravel in the reality. So I'm seeing that as like you and like your building, your momentum, all the projects you've been cultivating, and how it's been leading you down this soul's path for
Mhm.
you. So, kind of going backwards, like with those little moments of challenges or discernment and redirections, How did you still stay on your path of this is like holding faith to what that path was for you?
Yes. Being true to myself, and getting to know myself again, of course, and then realizing that I'm going to be true to myself. I'm going to show myself more, and that was like fuel to me. For a long time, I was a people pleaser, and other people pretty much told me who I was, and what I was going to do. And the more I stepped into my purpose and myself, and I let go of what I look like to other people, and even when it comes to being in the spiritual world and being a facilitator and all these things, letting go of like what that looks like, what spirituality looks like. And as I slowly started to step into me, like into my true purpose, and seeing who I was, and the duality of me, and the yin and the yang, and accepting both of those parts, I was able to just make those little steps to step into the light. And the more that I did, I'm like, oh, this just feels great. This feels amazing. Like, how can I do more of these things that help me feel great and help me feel
Mhm.
amazing? But while knowing that I will still go through things. It's okay. I don't have to fear going through those things, because I am continuously growing as a person. So it
Mhm.
felt like a little bit I'm walking through this path, and I'm slowly just like picking up these pieces and
Mhm.
bringing them back to myself. And that helps me to just reflect that light outwards into the
Mhm.
world and share it with as many people as possible. And also, I would say just opening up and listening to what spirit or God, or whatever you want to call it, is telling me what my purpose is,
Mhm.
and not being afraid of it. And
Yeah.
knowing, it was a sense of knowing. That's what it was. I'm like, I know where I am going to be at the end of this path. I
Mhm.
just I just have to get there.
Yeah.
And I don't need to judge myself on the way. I can meet myself where I'm at, meet myself with
Mhm.
compassion, and again, I don't have to burn myself out. But I can do that in a way that is authentic and true to me.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I love that. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing. When we have such big visions, it can feel daunting because
Hmm.
from where you are now or even in the past, and to see that you're like that's putting that big spotlight on you,
Hmm.
and there's putting so many spotlights on so many other parts of you that you may not have looked at yet, that you will, and still from like 3 years in and then more and more, just like
Hmm.
how you said little puzzle pieces kind of reminded me of like Candyland for some
Yes.
reason. Slow, slow that. And it truly is. It's like you're bringing, coming back to
Hmm.
yourself, and you're like if you think of it like a video game, like little powers, like you just
Yes.
like get it, and you're like
Yes, that's why I have a song which is
little
like, we're
boost.
going up, up, up. I'm like, yes, I feel it.
It is because it's so powerful, and like when
Hmm.
you get those little boosts, it's like I feel it, and it's like a breath of fresh air every time you get those little boosts of things.
Hmm.
When you are going down this path, like
Hmm.
let's say some of those challenges may present each other,
Hmm.
may have presented themselves, or even like little fallen moments, little
Yes.
tower moments, but you redirected back to the path rather than strong holding through the
Hmm.
challenges. Can you share a little bit of just maybe one or two, or maybe something more recent that was a challenge that maybe past you would have been like, oh, let's go down this route and see
Hmm.
where this challenge takes us, or to steam past it? Or it's like, oh no, that wasn't meant for me. I'm going to come back and like discern, redirect back to this path.
Yes, I would say my biggest challenge lately, and something that I was really afraid of, is again being seen and putting myself out there. But I am in a, I don't know, path, a profession, what do you want to call it, is when I'm working with people, and
Hmm.
I need to be seen in order to share my story. And that was a big barrier for me. There was times where honestly I was up at night like, oh, I'm going to share this and everybody's going to hate it, and people are going to be like, what is she talking about, what is she doing? And old me would have just dropped the ball, or would have just ran scared and hid away from the world. But I saw the evidence of this past 3 years of what happens when I show up, when I work past the fear, you know, and this vision and this purpose that I know that I have is not going away. It's going to be there. It's going to be there, you know. And instead of just pretending that I'm all right or just again pushing through it, I really take the time to sit down and say, okay, why am I doing this? What is my why? You know, and it coming from me or is it coming from everyone else? And I feel like yes, the more I just dive into being my authentic self, the less afraid I am of being seen. Like right now.
Yeah. I love that because like it feels my experiences are more of like dancing related. So it's like the feeling of like right when the curtains pull back and then now people are looking at you. It's like that feeling of like you or like when you're about to jump through like a cliff or into the water. It's like that like, like
yes.
but then you do it anyways. And so what has been that practice of like the and do it anyways? Like what has helped you be like and then do it anyways? Like do it scared basically.
Yes.
What like aside from even seeing like let's say like going back to the beginning before you even saw these trickling domino effects of like yes this is happening it's just unfolding in its own time before you even start seeing that before you start seeing the golden hot moon and it's still blue what helped you really be like you know what no I'm gonna keep on having faith in myself because like I need to see myself and this is the way.
Yes. Honestly, the people in my life, especially the women that I was surrounded by, who were showing me like their way that they were moving past their fear. And these are the women in my life, as in like my sister and my mother, you know, so that my family, seeing them push through. But then also, I would say I wouldn't say something just clicked in me. It was just like, why the hell not? Like, do you just want to stay here, you know, or do you want to move forward? Because it's like, if I stayed where I was, I would be in more pain than moving past the fear of moving forward. Like the other end was like, no, we can't stay there. We can't stay there. Yes, it was comfortable, but I know I'm not meant to sit in that. I'm meant to move forward. So it was just like, you know what? Why the heck not? The worst thing that can happen, I don't know. You just move forward. You learn new things.
You in your present state, all of the tools that you have now, if you could go back to any part of your inner child, the one that like was tapping on your heart space immediately, what would you say to her?
I would say to her, the little girl that feels like she's too sensitive or she's too much, I will let her know that her intuition and, you know, her feelings and her emotions turn out to be her superpower. Yes. And that it's a blessing to be able to feel things and to be aware and receptive.
Superhero. We really are like the sensitive people, the people that were told that they are so sensitive. That's really who I see stepping up right now. Of like really owning in like not owning but like well like owning their healing in a way and stepping to that plate of like okay I am here, I feel that tapping, I feel my purpose, I understand that platter that I'm being served and what I'm going to provide for myself and then what I'm then offering to the collective because of everything that you've been through. And that takes gusto. It's just so much bravery of like to be seen. It's like all the masks are off. And so that I really do I'm so like inspired by you and that's why I love this series so that I can bring you on and bring everyone else on that I've been witnessing and observing and seeing all the unfolding within you guys so that you can share with the collective and weave in through everything of like wow this person I want to work with or how can I work with that person or I've been really inkling to go towards this path and now I'm seeing this person doing it. I want to connect with that person. So can you share with the collective tuning in
where they can find you, connect with you, work with you, and if you have any offerings coming up soon.
Yes, so there's a few ways that you can connect with me and work with me. I do host monthly wellness events through my nonprofit. It's called Rooted in Flow. And then you can work with me one on one doing fitness or wellness coaching through my coaching business called Nourish and Thrive. And I help burnt out individuals find systems and rituals that work for them. So, no cookie cutter stuff here. And what I have coming up is a challenge that I'm launching. It's an 8-week challenge. It's called Energize in 8. And we're going to break down wellness and fitness and make it more practical and attainable. And you'll walk away feeling empowered and energized and ready to take control.
I love that.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
I'm definitely going to sign up for that
Yes.
8, Energize an 8, because my bowl's been empty. I need to fill it.
Yes.
So I'm really looking forward to that. Thank
Mm.
you so much for being on here and sharing your wisdom and insight and your story. It's so
Yes.
powerful.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having me and thank you for doing this and sharing this. And yes, I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you.
This is Revelations is a Ritual, where embodiment is the oracle. Thank you for listening, not just with your ears, but with your body, your breath, and your own inner knowing. If something stirred within you, let it ripple. Let it guide your own ritual of revealing. To honor this co creation, you can like, share, or just sit in with the felt sensations of what's rippling through you. And before you leave, make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't forget to touch that little bell so that you are notified for all of my new videos. I am very grateful that you are here.